Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of OKCRP. Today we got a fun one for you today. We're going to be hearing a case of Billy Badass. He was charged with third-degree arson, and we're going to be the presiding judge. We got a few guys going to be representing our jury. We got a prosecuting attorney, and we got the defendant who's representing himself with a lawyer, with a public defender. So we're going to jump back into here, and we're going to hear this case outright. So we're just going to wait on them to bring us into the courtroom here, and we'll see what happens.
Hello, Billy. How are you?
What's going on, Bob? It looks like you're... Are you intoxicated, sir? I think you might have went into the wrong wardrobe today. That, my friend, I know Byron. Byron didn't approve. Byron did not approve of that, sir.
They gave me the shirt at the dry cleaners. They got mine and someone else's mixed up.
Oh, okay, it makes sense. Oh, I'm over here?
Yep.
Okay.
And today only lawn chairs are permitted in the court, I heard.
That's bullshit, but I'll go for it.
Well, at least I have a chair to sit in now.
Alright,
We would have used in-game voice for this, but proximity just doesn't work for the courtroom.
just shout it. You can shout. You can change it from like a whisper to normal to shouting.
Well,
I mean, we could have used the megaphone.
We just said, okay, we'll use our active RP chat. Do it this way.
Okay, boss. Alright,
Get my evidence ready.
I will be right back while I connect, quote unquote, Zoom with the attorney.
Okay. So we're just waiting on these guys to get set up here in the courtroom. And
I'm going to be using Leo chat or info for because we don't have something where I can post my evidence, pictures and stuff. Unless you want to dig through media, Tim.
Yeah, no, that's fine if you just want to submit your evidence into the LEO log.
Okay.
One of them, and I think that we can maybe make a tab or a sub tab of like courtroom
A thread.
Yeah.
Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Defense is ready whenever prosecution.
Well, defense, if you want to see one of my photos, it's going to be in Leo info. Sure, it's in.
Where?
Leo info.
I don't see an image.
Go back, make sure I got it posted.
In the judge's chamber. Severe thunderstorm warning. They're giving me a tornado alert for a fucking thunderstorm warning. What the fuck?
Really?
My phone just...
Yeah, I heard that.
For a thunderstorm warning. I told you these motherfuckers out here pussies, Dad.
Well, those storms, the way they went through Arkansas and Tennessee, they're just being, weather service just giving heads up early on stuff.
Yeah, because they ain't do it that time.
Here we go. We
They
should be ready.
gave you a tornado warning just to let you know for just in case you don't remember
I
that
don't
it's
think there's a tornado shelter within a 200 miles radius of me.
Come on.
I'll be honest.
Where are you, Smug?
I'm in Northern California. No, I'm just kidding.
Alright, are we
I'm
ready?
actually wanting to visit California all the way from Norway, so.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Norway?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's why you didn't understand the time frame. Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't get tornadoes where I live.
Hey.
Hear about?
Can we get...
It's like 2 a.m. right now, so.
Shit.
Well, it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon here.
8 o'clock at night for me.
East Coast.
I also want to go to Hawaii.
Right on.
Well, I want to go to Norway.
Well, I want to go to Texas, but I can't get that.
Hey,
So you
Bailey,
can't get your normal.
Bailey, if you want to come get me, drag me out here, can we get this going?
Yep, where are you?
In Judge's chambers?
Alright, you know.
Other way, behind you there, officer.
Oh, yeah. Or where? This one. Where? I'm retarded.
In the door by the flag.
The door on the right by the American flag.
Those are just the flag. Here you are. Jeez, you look ugly. Anyway.
Alright, are they ready?
Yep.
Alright, after you.
Sorry, I'm retarded. Anyway.
Y'all ain't gonna rise for me?
Well, nobody said it.
All rise for the honorable judge. Honorary judge.
Alright.
Honorable Judge Lincoln.
Honorary judge.
Alright.
Okay.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Alright, it is my understanding that we are here presiding over the case State of Oklahoma versus Billy Badass. Is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
That's not my client's legal name.
Okay. What is your client's legal last name? Is it
Margaret.
Margaret?
Billy Margaret.
So it's my
Yes, sir.
understanding that we are presiding over the State of Oklahoma versus Billy Margaret.
Well, if you're going after Billy Badass, I've got Billy Margaret. I think we can do this whole thing out.
Alright. You all may be seated. And we'll start with the State of Oklahoma.
Your Honor, if you will look at the evidence that we provided on the digital form in Leo,
Yes, sir.
that was on March 26th at 7 o'clock. On the same day, the golf cart that you see in that picture, we have Billy driving it in front of the fire station of Alhambra. Or Algonquin, I think it is. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not good with street names.
Okay. And he's going to be believed in connection with an arson.
Yes, sir. That would be in the third degree. But we're here today for the court on the charge of the first degree, which he has admitted to himself of starting.
Okay.
And his grandmother Karen admitted. Before we go any further, may I address the defendant?
Yes, you may.
Billy, where do you live for the court record, please?
Well, it just depends on the
Where are
day.
you currently residing?
Currently, I'm up with my grandpa up there in Alito. That's at 1066 Alito.
1066 Polito, or...
You want the road name too? Yeah, with Grandpa. That's Grandpa's address on Procopio Drive. Okay.
Does your grandfather own a white Camaro?
My grandfather, I don't think so. I don't know. He has Alzheimer's Alzheimer's and dementia, all kinds of stuff wrong with him. That's why I stayed.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defense, if you're prepared to give your statements.
Well, defense is kind of confused. What charges am I defending my client in this court here today for? Arson and what?
It's going to be
The first degree.
It's going to be a first-degree arson for setting a structural fire and also a dumpster fire. It's going to be
Okay.
two counts for first degree.
So what is this evidence that we're looking at? This picture. What am I looking at?
This is going to be evidentiary evidence in this proceeding of what they are claiming as the defendant, who was driving that golf cart earlier in the day.
Well, how can you prove it was that golf cart? I mean, you ever been to Oklahoma County? There's plenty of golf carts that I've seen.
We have it on video.
They only come in two colors, brown and blue.
Okay.
So of course there's gonna be multiple brown golf carts, but I mean, I don't understand how you can say that's the exact one that he's driving. There's no major marks. There's no descriptive markings on this golf cart. There's nothing that could indicate that my client was driving that exact golf cart. That exact golf cart. You can't prove that my client was in that exact golf cart. There's no evidence submitted to show that my client was in the golf cart. Yes, sir. I didn't interrupt you. If you're not objecting me, I would prefer if you didn't interrupt me. I know I'm on a phone call. You may be in person, but my voice is the same power as yours, sir. So I would like you to not interrupt me.
Order in the court. Hold on. Defense, I'm going to ask you to pause your statement this time, please.
All right.
State of Oklahoma, can you, without a shadow of a doubt, prove that was Billy Margaret in that golf cart on that road that day?
No, sir. That's why we're not pressing for the third degree. We're only pressing for the first because we have the witness or the victim or the defendant's statement that he stated that he started the dumpster.
Do you have that on audio recording, video recording, and wrote on paper?
It was a statement given by his grandmother, Karen.
Okay.
May I call my witness to the stand?
You may.
No objection. Objection, Your Honor. This is not the time for witness statements or impact statements. I haven't even finished my damn opening statement. You guys are just pointing fingers at this little boy. It's kind of unjust in my. I may be a public defender, Your Honor, but I will fight for the fullest extent. I believe, Your Honor, that if you give me just a moment to speak with my client alone, we can sort this out, and we can y'all just go ahead. I'll talk to him. I'll whisper over here amongst ourselves.
Well, defense, if you want to continue with your opening statement.
Okay. Well, with my opening statement, like I said before, I was interrupted by you, Your Honor, and the prosecution. You can't prove that golf cart belonged or was in possession of by Billy, right? There's like I said, there's no markings on it. There's no plate. There's no visible plate on it. There's nothing that you can see that would say that this is the exact one. Like, of course, there's going to be multiple brown golf carts in the area, but you can't just say that's the exact one because somebody saw it. Because somebody saw him driving a similar one. May I ask the prosecution where the witness stated that he witnessed Billy driving that golf cart?
Not at this time.
that's going to be it for opening if you can't answer my questions.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to submit we have the serial number match off of that vehicle that is owned by Karen Margaret, Billy's grandmother. And we also got fingerprints off of it on the steering wheel from where he had been driving.
Objection, Your Honor. This wasn't submitted prior to the hearing. I would request that be thrown out.
Go ahead and overrule that objection. So the state is claiming under the penalty of perjury, state of Oklahoma, you are saying to this court, you have the VIN number to that golf cart that belongs to Margaret, Miss Margaret, Karen Margaret, and it is
I'm sure if we go pull up the CCTV off of the county fire station, we can find Billy driving it.
Well, since we don't have that right now, so you understand under the penalty of perjury, you have the VIN number to that golf cart and you can place that golf cart at the scene of this crime.
Yes, sir.
Jury, I want you to understand that. I want you to hear that. Under the penalty of perjury, that golf cart was at the scene and it is registered to a Karen Margaret.
Your Honor.
Continue.
My client has just informed me that while he was apprehended by the fire marshals or arson investigators, if you would, he has informed me that there was no parent or attorney present when questioned, and they did not read him any type of rights whatsoever. So at this moment, I think anything within your report from my client alone should be thrown out. Otherwise, we can address this at another day because you violated his constitutional right.
State of Oklahoma, under the penalty of perjury, are you testifying before this court that you read him his Miranda rights?
Sir, at the time he was not under arrest and he was only detained when he confessed.
Okay. Well, we do have the confession. Did he just openly admit to it? Were you questioning him? Were you?
No, we put the cuffs on him and he started squealing like a pigeon. I did it. I'm sorry. I did it. I dropped the cigarette in the dumpster and it lit on fire.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I would like you to understand that my client has not once in this case, before the proceeding or anything, claimed that he started the golf cart fire. He was nowhere near it. He was at home doing homework, okay? But my client has, as he's saying, he did fully admit to starting the dumpster fire. That's, if you want to be technical, we can pull out the land surveys. The dumpster's on Miss Karen's property. It's private property at that point. I'm pretty sure you can burn stuff on private property in the county. But besides that, my client admitted to it, yes. And what you have to understand here, he's a juvenile. There was no parent or guardian present. There was no attorney. Nobody read him any rights. They slap him in cuffs, drag him to the station, and start questioning him without anything, without letting Karen know. There's evidence, because we have a phone call from the fire station to Karen about, your son's here, he's admitted, blah, 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 he's going to be charged, pretty much, and then the parental custody release. That alone, you can understand, Karen was pretty heated. So Karen reached out to me. Karen is also in a separate case. She's filed for property damage and property damage, I think times 2. There's 2 different cases, one against Paul Cambino, the owner of the dispensary next door, and the other against both Fire Chief Butch and the on-duty fire department who came to, I believe was Bob Belcher here, came to put out the dumpster fire. And in doing so, they completely wrecked her little garden, they just completely tore up the driveway and everything else with the truck, where they had no care for anything. So at that point in time, I would like you to understand that is a separate matter that is being taken care of. So you can't trust everything these guys are saying. They are upset. That's why I'm honestly about to motion for an unjust trial, because he over here, he is upset with my client because he is in the wrong. He didn't do his job correctly, Your Honor.
Okay. Order in the courtroom. Jury, the previous statement I'd like you all to forget, as they are unrelated to this matter. Okay, we're going to move in. State, have you closed with your evidentiary proceedings?
My closing argument today would be that we got him. He admitted to the first fire, and there were a string of fires that day, leading to the evidence that was provided with the golf cart in the bin.
Okay.
And the fingerprints of driving the golf cart, which this led into the loss of life at that third scene. We just started doing adding our numbers up, and all directions pointed to him under the investigation. We tried to have a talk with Miss Margaret directly, and if you met her, his grandmother, we all know how she is.
Your Honor, objection. That is a very misleading and personal statement. I think that was from his feelings. Like I said in my previous statement that you warned the jury was unrelated. It's not unrelated. You just saw it in this courtroom. Your prosecutor is butthurt with Miss Karen. There's some personal tension, and that's why I'm just letting you know. But honestly, Your Honor, I'm sorry for the objection. I just want you to know, before my closing statement, I would like to ask prosecution to the stand.
I'd like to see that. I'll allow that if you want to cross-examine the state.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Bailiff, if you would come
Also, Your Honor, my client has just informed me he will be needing a school note for today.
Well, we can certainly get one.
All right, I just wanted to make sure that's clear.
Where are we?
Bailiff,
What?
you'll come over here to the stand and swear in my witness.
What's his name? I was gone for like 20 minutes.
Bob Belcher.
Bob Belcher, do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Alright. You can just...
Thank you. Defense, if you would go ahead with your line of questioning.
Can you state your name for the record, just so we're clear?
Bob Belcher.
All right, Mr. Belcher. And what is your status within the fire department?
I am the Oklahoma City Fire Marshal.
Okay. How long have you been with the fire department?
20 years.
Okay, sir. How many of the scenes that are related to today's case and hearing did you attend?
3.
Can you state which 3?
That would be
The dumpster fire, the house fire, and which one was the last one?
McDonald's.
The McDonald's.
Which that one is not related to this case, but it was in the same time
Why
frame.
did you say it? I said
That's the one that I was related to.
So I'm gonna strike that one then. That had nothing to do with my client. So back to my question. Can you tell me which scenes you responded to that are related to Billy Margaret?
The dumpster and the structure fire.
And where was the structure fire located? Is that the evidence you submitted, or is that a separate?
That's the evidence that was submitted.
Okay. So, did you have any witnesses in the area?
No, just from our investigation of fingerprints on the steering wheel and VIN number, we made the conclusion that it was related to your client.
Okay, so off of two things, it was related.
Correct.
Okay. And do you know how the fire started?
The structure fire?
Well, the fires that were here for Mr. Billy Margaret that he's being charged with.
Dumpster, after investigation, was a cigarette.
Okay.
Dropped with his DNA on it.
Okay.
And the structure was, we believe, to be started by the golf cart ramming into a propane tank.
Okay. There was no damage. So there's no damage on this impound report for the golf cart. There's no damage listed, and you're suggesting he rammed into a propane tank. From my knowledge,
it could have cut a line.
You could have cut a line. There's
100,000 things that could have happened.
Let me ask you this though. Reasonably, you're telling me that the propane tank exploded and caused this fire, correct? Essentially.
Yes.
Okay. And so, I don't know about you. I mean, you work in the fire department. I'm sure you would know. And jury, I don't know what your guys' frame of work is, but I'm sure you guys, propane is a very dangerous, flammable thing. If something explodes, or if my client was to ram the golf cart into the propane tank, or like he's saying, I just want to ask Mr. Bob, don't you think my client would have been injured? I mean, an explosion, fire, don't you think it would have been?
He could have jumped off and it could have rolled to do it.
All right. And I just want to ask, any type of with these fires, and you're saying my guy has started multiple, don't you think he would suffer from, maybe asthma or some type of like smoke inhalation? Don't you think that something like that would have bounced off of him?
Well, I'm sure he does from smoking.
You're sure he does? Okay. Well, I'd have to disagree with that, but one of my other questions for you, Mr. Bob, is can you explain to me and to the court, and to the jury, to Billy, to the judge, how exactly you're saying this structure fire that took a man's life was started by Billy? From your investigation, we need to know how the fire started, why what you think the motive for it starting is. Could you answer that for me?
We think it was reckless driving, and maybe it was reckless driving and clipped the propane line. The house filled up with propane. The owner probably started flipped the light switch. Boom.
Sir, just so me and you are clear, that structure that you see was already abandoned. There's no power to that structure, so how would that happen?
We don't show it as an abandoned home on the city's power grid.
sir. That there's nobody that lives there. Has lived there.
Doesn't have a temporary power for it.
There's no power lines in that area. There's no power lines in that area. There's not even water pipes ran through that little area. That's a beach area, sir.
Okay.
So how would that
Should have been a generator then.
Did you find a generator on scene, sir?
I would have to go back through my paperwork and look.
Oh, well, I would beg that you didn't, and that's why you're saying you'd have to go look. Sir, just final question here for you today.
Mm-hmm.
How would you say Billy is as a human being? Yeah, Billy.
He's a troubled child. He's been up at the station numerous times asking how to start certain type of chemical fires and stuff.
Can you elaborate more on that? How?
He came up saying that he had a school project and was wanting to know how to, it was a chemical compound. What burned better was the question. He said was his homework. Propane or diesel. And sure and behold, here we have a propane issue.
So, like you said, he had a school project, and he asked the fire department for answers to the school project, and you think he's a problem child?
I said, I think he's troubled.
So, well, yeah, it's on the record here. You said problem child. You think he's a problem child, sir? I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may return to your seat.
Thank you, sir.
At this time, if nobody has anything further, this court will be adjourned to recess for 5 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would go to the chambers, I'll meet you in my chambers. Bailiff, if you'll escort them to my chambers and let them deliberate in my chambers. For the record, if you're let the record show that Billy does that one more time. I'm going to find him in contempt of court. Okay. Bailiff, can we please seat the defendant?
What?
Bailiff, can we sit the defendant, please?
I thought you said we were on recess, man. I was trying to go hit the playground.
Well, I'm kind of cuffed, so I can't really move.
How the hell did you get cuffed? Well, you can't move because you're in your little admin or your email. It wasn't because you were cuffed.
Okay. Oh, come here. You sit.
Don't touch me, sir.
I didn't touch you.
I'll sue you and your department.
Okay.
I didn't touch you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we'll step down to another call.
What does a plea mean, Bob?
Let's go to another channel.
Yep. Okay. Yes, sir.
Alright. Oh, that went, Brent?
That went.
Stop. technically, he's not guilty at all, because if he was in the dumpster smoking a cigarette and it fell out, it doesn't create him to be an arsonist. That becomes an accident.
You're at a not guilty.
That's a not guilty.
I'm at.
And I'm with him. I'm with him on that.
And there's no evidence on anything else to put him there or prove outside. I mean, he did say that there's a VIN number and stuff, but that
That's circumstantial.
doesn't really. It's circumstantial, but it doesn't stand up to anything. You can't put him at the scene. You can't prove it. If it belongs to his mother, Margaret,
Right.
or his grandmother,
Right.
then he probably drives it all the time.
Right. And I mean, he's said in the prosecution's own words, no, we cannot put him there at that time.
That's exactly what he said.
Right. Here's where I go to a lesser charge. Do we charge him with criminal negligence?
I think
With him
I
throwing the cigarette that started the
think
fire?
we should go with a misdemeanor charge and let's say 2 months juvenile detention.
Okay, let me see. We'll pull up the statute on criminal.
I mean, it kind of do things for a loop.
Let's see.
It might not even be a charge at all.
Okay, so he's facing 1 year in jail as a maximum and a $500 fine.
But didn't do it under juvenile.
So I'll wait out and do the sentencing up on the stand if that's what we can.
Because wouldn't it change under juvenile? Well, because he's only 14. So it wouldn't be a year.
Okay, I'll give him 90 days.
So 90 days juvenile detention, and then
We'll find him guilty.
afterwards, after his time served, 6 month probation.
Yeah, we'd do something like that, and we'll slap him with a restitution. Slap his mother with restitution.
Yeah, slap his mother with the restitution.
Since he's a minor, so we can do 90 days. I'll do it. We're going to do 90 days in juvenile detention center. We're going to find him guilty of criminal mischief. 90 days in juvenile detention center. Psychiatric evaluation while he's there. Continued mental therapy while he's there. After he gets out, we're going to do we'll do a $1,000 restitution for property loss.
Yeah, make him do some sort of restitution or some sort of what would you do? What's it called?
Service?
Community service.
Okay. Well, if we're
Option. Give the lawyers the option, and then we'll just we'll play it out from there.
sounds good to me.
All right.
We're ready.
All right. Let's drag everybody back.
Yeah, we'll head back.
All right. I'll drag you, Adam.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Bailiff, if you'll come, we've reached a verdict.
Lady stepped away. Billy, stand up.
Alright,
No,
we'll step back.
I don't have to.
Adam, you come with the.
Yeah, we'll go on ahead.
You guys didn't stand up for me?
seated. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you will pass over your true and final verdict, and I will read that aloud.
Your Honor, I was not aware we were going to trial today. Here's the verdict, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, thank you. Okay. All right. Juror number 1 found you not guilty on a lack of evidence. Juror number 2 found you not guilty on a lack of non-evidence. Juror number 1, is this your true and final verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2, is this your true and final verdict?
Yes.
Okay.
And is that on both counts or just one?
That is on one count of your 3rd degree. We are going to find you. This court, however, this court is going to find you guilty of criminal mischief for starting the fire, the dumpster fire.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll appeal it in the 30 days that we have, sir.
Now, your public defender, this is the option that you have. I am going to be sentencing Billy Margaret to 90 days in the Oklahoma County Children's Detention Center. He will have to, while he is there, undergo a psychiatric evaluation and mental therapy. He's going to require therapy. While
Your Honor.
I am not done.
Your Honor.
I am not done. You speak again, I'll find you in contempt of court. The court also is going to order Karen Margaret, since he is a minor, to pay $1,000 restitution to the state of Oklahoma. We will also find you, as once you get out of your sentence, for 6 months community service.
Objection, Your Honor.
Every weekend
Speak. Are you
for 6
done?
months. Go ahead.
Billy Margaret is a first-time offender. 90 days in the county juvenile detention center is far well enough. You know, there's no need for 6 months of community service or whatever the hell you just said. That is outrageous, Your Honor. And we will be appealing this, so if that's all I have for today, sir, we'll appeal this sentencing.
What is your name? What is your name?
My name?
Yeah.
I'm a public defender, sir. I'm Johnny Button.
Alright, Mr. Button, there's going to be a warrant out for your arrest for contempt of court for cursing in my courtroom.
Mr. Bob did it twice.
Now.
That's a little, you're playing sides, Your Honor.
Now, I showed leniency to your client. This is punishable by a year.
You know, Your Honor, you've already given your verdict, you've already given your sentence, so, listen, the best thing, you're holding me in contempt of court for doing my job here. So, let me just let you know something. What's your name, for the record, so everybody has it?
It's Honorable John Lincoln.
Okay, buddy. I don't know about honorable, but okay, Mr. Lincoln. We'll see you. Let's schedule the appeal for 14 days out.
That's another
okay,
30
and we'll
days
see
in
you
jail.
then. For what?
It's 30 days in jail, contempt of court.
For what?
You want to get cute with me? I'll make it another 30.
I'm on Zoom. Good luck catching me.
That's another 30.
That's fine, sir. You're just interrupting me. I think you and Mr. Bob Belcher have both played personal tensions in this. I don't know if maybe you both have something going on with Karen from back in the day or what, but you guys have just completely blown this out of proportion, and I can't wait till the media hears that you've held a public defender in contempt of court for doing his job for 180 days, and I can't wait to let them know that a juvenile first offender was found guilty of criminal mischief, but not guilty for lack of evidence, and received 6 months in a juvenile detention center. 6 months probation, plus 90 days, 3 months. I apologize, Your Honor.
90 days in the county, and he was going to get 6 months of community service.
Again, I think that is outrageous for a first offender. No wonder the Oklahoma reoffender rate is so high. No wonder why the reoffender rate is so high.
You want to keep talking? We can make it 300 days in jail. You want to go for a year?
Your Honor, I really think that you are I think you are playing in your pants tonight. I think maybe you got mad and you had an argument outside of the courtroom. But listen, sir, whatever frustrations that are built up, I think you need a psychiatric evaluation. I think you need therapy because
you're already in jail for contempt of court.
You could have told me to stop talking and I would. I've been respectful. I've listened the whole time. Mr. Bob was sitting there rambling as I was giving my open statement. He didn't get no contempt. You didn't tell him nothing. All you said was order in my court.
You were done. Are you done?
I'm done now.
All right then. This court is adjourned. Bailiff, if you would, please escort our suspect here to jail.
I gotta go actually. So.
I could escort him.
Alright.